It's a special day here at Oilers Nation. Connor Mick 1000 will young 97 become the fourth fastest player in NHL history to reach that 1,000-point mark. When will he do it? How will he do it? Hopefully, he will do it, and hopefully with the first goal of the game. Thank you very much, Bet365. We're looking forward to that tonight as the Edmonton Oilers play host to the Nashville Predators. Again? Yes, again, for the third and final time this season. Hello, what up, and welcome to Pre-Gaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giants. We check into the chat. One of the OGs, an arguable MVP of the Oilers Nation chats, not just pre-gaming, not just After Dark, ONE, all of it. It's Lance Kane, and he says, Cup, yeah. Cup, yeah. We're going to start saying it like Paulie D would, in fact, say it, Daniel. Austin's in. He says, let's get fired up, Oil Country. 1,000 points incoming. Mick High and Dry says, Mick, 1,000 points. High and Dry. Southpaw, it's so unreal we get to watch McDavid crack 1,000 points already. Possibly not even halfway through his career. It is insane. And then Amanda's in. She says, Hola? Hello, folks. How's the Christmas decorating going in Oilers Nation? I'm currently pulling heavy-ass bins down, trying not to die. Well, we're not going to dress up the studios until December 1st. And in the other studio that we are currently building, let's just say our Christmas special is going to be, it's going to be in a very log cabin-esque type of vibe. Personally, I set up my tree a couple days ago. I figured halfway through November, I feel like that's 6 weeks is probably more than enough. I was honestly probably too early. I'm joined today by Dan Gallant, OG of Oilers Nation, king of hockeyfights.com. Daniel, how are we doing? And do you have your Christmas tree up?
Doing great. We do have our Christmas tree up at the house. We have a full slate of November going into December with house guests visiting from Germany and from around Alberta. So Christmas has arrived at the Gallant household.
Yeah, that's happy. I'm happy for you. That's nice. I don't know. It's just better having your Christmas tree next to your giant TV when you're watching sports. It's like great movie light, great backlight. Also makes me feel very jolly, even though I'm pretty jolly as is. Time out. True. Super chat. QF Pro is in the chat right now and says, I've got a hunch. Davo over Saros right shoulder from in tight under 1 minute to the game. As I said, that would cash my McDavid first goal scorer of the game. So I think we're all looking for that. Daniel, you said you're doing well. I wanted to update the people in the chat. And Dan, you also don't know this, and I'm going to tie this up under the bow as my message to not just Oiler fans, but all people on planet Earth. So we finished Oilers Nation After Dark the other night, Tuesday night. It's me and Brett, producer Brett. We're getting ready to pack up everything. It's late at night. I'm taking him in my car, and I'm going to drive him home. And as I walk into my vehicle, Daniel, I see there's a big white note on my front windshield, and I go, oh, shit. It's either bad news, maybe somebody's yelling at me where I'm parking. I open it up, read the note, where it says, in fact, somebody, hey, sorry, I backed into your vehicle, and your whole driver's side door is totally messed up. Now, had the Edmonton Oilers lost that hockey game on Tuesday, I don't even know what I would have done. I would have been furious beyond belief. Now, they did win the game, so it wasn't that bad. She left a note. We're able to get things done. But the point I want to make to everybody out there in this chat and everybody on planet Earth, leave a note, okay? Because that lady did not have to leave a note. She really could have gotten away scot-free. She told me back of her vehicle didn't even have much marks on it. But I said it's good karma, and hopefully she is an Oilers fan. She said it would be karma for the Edmonton Oilers and their chase of things. Overall, leave a note. And like I said, I went and got a quote done. I could have had this lady been a B word and not been nice to me about it. I could have got so much extra stuff done to my vehicle. But because she was so apologetic, because she was so nice, I just got the door fixed. And it's the grand message I've got here, Dan. Leave a note. Have you ever gotten a note on your car when somebody hit it?
Well, as a matter of fact, within the last month, my vehicle has been hit and didn't get a note left on it. It was a front bumper scuff of sorts, but enough just after I had replaced my own front bumper from my own accident that I had. So yes, I do hear what you're saying, and I can appreciate just that general kindness. This world is tough enough as it is for everybody, and you do not know what everybody else is going through at any time when you come across them. It's just as easy to leave that note, to wave at somebody when you're going by them. It's way easier to be kind than to do it otherwise.
Be good people. I see a lot of people in here. Yeah, that sucks. Absolutely leave a note. Final buzzer. There's cameras everywhere. You got to leave a note. Fighting Amish made me laugh. She was just trying to get your digits, Bordzy. I wasn't even in a car, so I didn't even know who it was when it happened, but I digress. You're good people in the chat. I trust that you guys are the people that leave a note. Dan, that sucks that some guy didn't leave a note with your vehicle.
Yeah, hey, it's funny that we didn't know. We were talking about this before the show. You didn't let me in on it. So yeah, it's interesting that it happened right in the same area.
The one thing I did let you in on before the show, and we'll cover this, and then we'll get into the hockey talk, because it's been on my mind all day. It was the talk of Nation HQ today. So if you've listened to the latest episode of Better Late Than Never, our boy Bag Milk's podcast, get it everywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, everywhere, even YouTube, right here where you're watching this show. But he's presented the idea or the challenge of how many days in a row could you go specifically only eating Costco hot dogs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Every solid food are those right there. Now, might be the cheapest meals. You probably save a ton of money if you were doing this. But we're talking about it all day today, so I want to know your opinion, Dan. Everybody in the chat as well. I love these dogs. And the key is with this, you can put whatever you want on the dog, whatever condiments you want, onions. Ty said barbecue sauce, which I thought was a total Tyler thing to do and put on a dog. But you got to eat it. Every solid food is a hot dog. So I'm curious, how long could you do this? And how many dogs would you think you could eat in a day? How many dogs would you need a day to stay full? Those are huge dogs too.
Well, so there's a whole bunch, there's many layers to this debate. There's many ways that we can go into this conversation. As a former fat guy myself, still a fat guy as it is, and a guy that used to pack away Kirkland hot dogs like it was nobody else's business. I bought my first ever home that I owned. One of the perks that I personally had for it was that we lived close to a Costco because I could walk over and pick up my hot dogs. So I would usually put away 3 hot dogs at my peak during 3 Polish dogs, I should say, during one sitting. So for me, the number is astronomical. I'm looking forward to seeing what Bag Milk thinks he can actually do here and what he can actually follow through on. But again, I built differently. When I was a bouncer, I lived on a diet of microwavable hot dogs. I don't know if everybody remembers that in the chat, but there was a time, and I don't know if you can still get them these days, probably not with microplastics being what they are, but you could get a wiener in an individual microwavable bag, and then you could throw that in the microwave and you could have a hot dog, microwaved hot dog. So that was my bouncer chow. So hot dogs are my thing. Shout out Costco for keeping the price of them low. I think he can do it. I think I could do it for over 500 days.
There's no way I could go for over 500 days. I said I don't even know if I could go a week. And don't get me wrong, I love hot dogs as much as the next guy, okay? I've balled on a budget before. I've eaten hot dogs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner way more times than I would like to admit in my lifetime. But what's the difference between a Polish and a regular? Is it the size?
It's definitely comes down to the spices. My wife will agree. It's the spices that come out in the burps afterwards. But yeah, they're both pretty much the same. Generally meat contained things with a bunch more spices in there as well. But again, credit to Costco for keeping the cost of some kind of food at a reasonable level so that everybody else can be like, hey, why are you charging $14 for your hot dog when Costco is still charging $1.50?
Costco, the one place, or the Costco hot dog specifically, the one place that of inflation has yet to hit in this world. All right, that's enough of that. Loyal to Oil said Polish is very garlicky. Yes. We got to talk to Waz about this. Might have to talk to Waz a little bit about this. But let's table that and let's talk about the story at hand tonight, the big storyline. It could be a date that we remember forever. An answer to a trivia question forever. November 14th, 2024. Hopefully the day that Connor McDavid joins the 1,000 point club. I laugh because doing a pregame show, I've had so many guys saying you're jinxing it. It can't be a thing on a pregame show because obviously if what I say doesn't happen, it's a jinx. There you see the career stats for our boy Connor McDavid. 658 games, 340 goals, 659 assists. He's an assist per game player, not even a point per game player. He's an assist per game player with 999 points. Still only 27 years old. And this is not only a milestone, but it is an insane milestone at that. This is a very, very big deal. If he gets 1 point, and I believe it's in the next 23 games, he'll become the fourth fastest to ever get to 1,000 behind Gretzky, Lemieux, and Mike Bossy. If he does it, he will have finished the job faster than Sidney Crosby, Jaromir Jagr, Yari Curry, just to name a few names out there. And the point I want to make, nice, there you see it right here on your screen. Patrick Puff producing behind the scenes tonight, and he had his camera working before this. Tonight, we might get to see that handsome Patrick Puff jawline, but there you see where McDavid ranks. One, Sidney Crosby in there, and then the rest of it. I think Connor McDavid is more than capable of reaching 2,000 points in his NHL career. I mean, if we're halfway there right now and he's 27, over under counter how many times I knock on wood through this because I still am scared, but this is more than that classic Connor being Connor moniker that we give things when we can't explain what he does on the ice, right? This is legendary stuff with legendary company, and in an age where goaltenders are actually wearing pads and equipment, if I might add. Connor, obviously, he's humble. He says he doesn't care. I'm sure he does care, and he is very aware of this record. So maybe it's more for the fans. Maybe it's more for the hockey diehards, but this is just straight up unheard of stuff, generational stuff, which is a word we've heard ever since Connor McDavid was 13 years old. It's a record we might not see again, Dan, in our lifetimes. Granted, you are one generation above me, so I'll knock on wood for that one as well. Just another legendary record for a legendary player if he gets there tonight. But Dan, this is insane to do this quick in your career.
It really is. And shout out to all your haters saying that you're jinxing this by talking about it. Imagine going through the pre-gaming show and not once mentioning the fact that the greatest player of our generation could be eclipsing the 1,000 point mark tonight. But, it is just really something where I find myself whenever I'm on these shows, and I do really just take so much pride in being able to show up on these things and talk to Oiler fans, because it does give me the opportunity to remind Oiler fans that, like, yeah, there's stuff that's going on tonight. There's people that want to hang out with you. There's things you could be doing, but glue yourself to that television tonight. You are watching history. We're watching history unfold in front of us. And when you look back on Connor's career, you get to ask yourself, where were you when we got to draft him, when that golden placard comes up? Where were you when he had scored that first goal? Where were you when he came back against Columbus? It's all these moments throughout his career, and this is just another one of those. And like you said, 2,000 points, not out of the question at all. And so just absolutely special, and something for a guy that's had two career altering injuries. I don't want to say career derailing, because the knee one definitely was potential there. Brandon Manning injury, not so much. But again, two injuries early in his career that could have thrown him off for more of a loop than it did. And here we are. So absolutely wonderful to see. And I'm so glad to be able to share it with all these Oiler fans tonight.
You're going to be with us all night, pre-gaming and post-gaming as well, Daniel. People in the chat, Nathan, 658 games is absolutely incredible. It's nuts, man. There's no other word for it. Southpaw, ridiculous assist per game stats. Doesn't even make sense. Nathan, he'll be the second player to ever reach 2,000 points one day. And final buzzer, thank you. Jinxes are not real. You make your own luck. We're done with that. The question I will have to you, Dan, and the chat, because somebody already said they visualized him going bar down over Saros' shoulder. Let's have some fun here. Let's try and predict it. Dan, how does Connor McDavid get his 1,000th point if he does it tonight?
Oh, well, the cynic in me believes that it probably won't happen as early as everybody hopes. The crowd is going to be wild tonight. I think it's university night in the arena as well. So youthful crowd going on there this evening, which means pre-gaming will probably be more well taken in by the crowd. But if I had to guess, I'm going to say it's probably in the second period on a power play assist to Draisaitl, the way it should be. The proper, to me, I'm looking at Gretzky's record of assists now for Connor McDavid more than anything else, and I really think that it could continue that way. And so, yeah, I see it coming from a Draisaitl power play goal.
That would be kind of like symbolic, poetic, whatever words you want to use. How many points has he gotten that way? Oh, wait, 192 Leon Draisaitl goals on Connor McDavid points. We saw that list. Shout out Greg's for that list that went out around circles of social media today, because it was insane. You can see it here on your screen, a little hard to read, but Leon 192 goals, Nuge 71, Hyman 67. The list of one goal scorers on this is pretty funny.
Look.
Mike Camilleri, Eero Pakarainen, Dominic Cahoon.
Still counts.
Right. Brett Kulak. Well, that's crazy that he actually only has one as well. The one that stood out to me was Ty Ratty with 5 career goals. That should be 500 career goals. For me, the prediction, we all predicted it today on O&E. How does Connor do it? I said breakout pass from Brett Kulak. Only 1 assist on this. Comes up the right wing, makes with extreme speeds a dangle to the middle of the ice. He's going to rip it over Saros' shoulder. Ping! Bar down, and we are going to celebrate. Number 1 fan, he agrees. End-to-end rush and bar down Davin off the back of Saros' head. That would be pretty cool. Now, the opportunity tonight comes against a team that the Oilers know well in general, and specifically this season in the Nashville Predators. It's their 3rd meeting already this season. It will be the 3rd and final meeting this season. And on the eve of MC1000, you might forget that Leon Draisaitl is the mayor of Nashville, okay? McDavid, pretty sick numbers here. 39 points in his last 19 games against the Predators. Pretty good. He's also got a 14-game point streak going on right now against these Predators. While Leon, in his last 16 games against the Predators, you ready? 23 goals and 37 points. Insane numbers. Leon, he's tearing it up right now. He's currently tied for the league lead, or coming into tonight, tied for the league lead in goals with 12. I think it's him, Cole Caulfield, William Nylander, Sam Reinhart, Mikko Rantanen. No, I know that's correct. He's on a different level this year, with or without Connor McDavid. And I don't know, everyone in this chat, Leon himself cannot explain this dominance against the Nashville Predators, because it happens at Rogers Place. It happens at Bridgestone Arena. It doesn't matter. It's something about yellow. I think a goaltender in yellow makes him able to find those corners. Just makes no sense. Tyler Mulick today in the Oilers Nation Everyday Chat, I like this description of Leon. He said, he's the best pass first 50 goal scorer in NHL history, which I could not agree with more. Daniel, probably those 23 goals in his last 16 games, something tells me that I can count on a big Leon Draisaitl night tonight. And please tell my Bet365 account that as well.
Well, hey, I mean, for Leon, it's been a wondrous schedule to start this year, getting Nashville 3 times to get that guy fired up, especially with this team struggling on the offense very early on, and with last year's struggles in our rearview mirror. But yeah, it's something that you see it over time. I've been around this league enough to know that there's just teams and there's just matchups that you get where something clicks. And it really, as an Oilers fan talking about the Nashville Predators, it almost feels like I'm being vicious towards the organization, because it has had some really high quality talent thrown through there, but they just do not have any answer for Leon Draisaitl. And that's not to say that other teams haven't struggled with him, but it just seems like every single game against Nashville, he takes it to another level, and Nashville just has no answer for it. It doesn't matter the personnel that are on the other side of the ice. It's just Leon's game to dominate. So yeah, I foresee Leon having another solid game. I don't think he's going to need to blow the doors off of anybody right now. I really think this team is coming into their own right now. But yeah, Nashville and Leon has been fun to watch for us, and I love your thought of the yellow. It's just got to be. It has to be that piss yellow.
The piss yellow, exactly. It is piss yellow through and through. I wouldn't like being a Predator. I don't know. Leon Draisaitl, it's his world. We're just living in it right now, and I'm totally thrilled. And it's crazy to say as Connor has 7 points in his last 2 games and is on the verge of 1,000 points. We're so blessed, Daniel. We're so blessed. Now, tonight, the Oilers, they're going to have a little bit different looking lineup tonight as Victor Arvidsson. He will miss tonight's game with an undisclosed injury, meaning the Oilers are going 11-7. Sound the alarms, ring the bells. It's back. Bring Woodcroft back on the bench. See what he can do with this. Now, Nobby did say he expects Arvidsson to play on the weekend, so this is just a one thing. He said he was cool rolling 11 forwards. He was cool making a call up. He wanted to talk to Stan Bowman. I'm sure Stan said, "Those glasses, we need to keep accruing cap, and we have to keep this going." So I do like the move. This is nothing new for the Oilers, right? As I said, they did it a lot under Jay Woodcroft, definitely less with Nobby. Both Troy Stetcher, Travis Dermott will be in the lineup this evening on the back end. The forward group's going to be light. Pat, do we have the tweet that shows what the Oilers lines were like in practice? Because as you'll see here, top line RNH McDavid Hyman. But it's line number 2. It's just got Podkolzin and Draisaitl and nothing, because it does look like the Oilers are going to do the whole committee thing in the top 6, rolling in a number of different players. I expect some more supernova than usual. Expect to see a ton of 97, especially when he's chasing 1,000 points. I think we're going to see a fair amount of Corey Perry in the top 6 on that line. Nobby specifically said him by name getting a chance. And one guy that I hope gets a chance just to light a fire under him and hopefully he can score a point off his ass, a la Zach Hyman, is one Jeff Skinner. Looking for him to get some shifts. We can talk about him a little bit more later on. He needs to jumpstart it, but 11-7. We'll see how these D pairings go. I predict one of Stetcher or Dermott is going to play like 7 minutes tonight on the ice, especially with the uptick in Brett Kulak's minutes lately and Darnell Nurse. But Daniel, 11-7, nothing new. I expect we're going to see a lot of 97 and 29 going supernova this evening. Your thoughts on going 11-7, not making the call up, and keep accruing that money, brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's been the Oilers' MO this season. They are looking to continue to try and make that deadline acquisition as big and conflated as they can, salary-wise, to be able to fit in some more pieces here. Coming into the game, again, against the Nashville Predators, where you've had a bit of success against them this year, you've got your confidence in Pickard back in the net there as well. I don't mind it. I was trying to remember before we got on the air, was the last time that we saw 11-7 with Knobloch, was that not the game where he started it with it and then we bailed out on it before the first period was even over? Or was that something else? I can't quite remember, but it'll be exciting, I think, to see Knobloch be able to use the blender serendipitously, but properly, and now going to be able to facilitate it. I really am excited to see Jeff Skinner get up there and be able to just continue to do what he started this season with. And that's the part where you've heard a little bit more kind of discourse online or surrounding Jeff specifically in the last 5 or 6 games. And I'm just not understanding it, because the guy was starting the season where the rest of the team couldn't figure out its offense. He was the one guy that knew to fire the puck towards the net. So excited to see what they can do with that. And like you said, the reality is they're going to be going to that nuclear deterrent every once in a while here, and we're going to see it every single period this game.
Exactly. I think it's nice having Corey Perry, because he can play with skilled players and he's shown chemistry with Pods to just bang bodies down low, and it's a simple game. Get it back to number 29. Interested to see how that goes this evening. Also, Bo's in the chat and just said, "Boys, I'm engaged." Clap it up, Dan.
Welcome to the team.
Attaboy, Bo. Yeah, nice. I laughed at that because somebody said here, Shopcat Industries, no one warned you? Well, JK, congrats. Congratulations, Bo. That's one of the
awesome.
beauties in the chat. I've actually gotten a lot of times to meet him in person down at Greta. Bo, you're a beauty. Stick taps in the chat. Congratulations. Hopefully your fiance watches this show as well, because we could use another subscription. We could use another follower. Talking Predators now. They're having a less than stellar season, I think you could say. They're currently 8th in the Central Division. 8th. They're 4-4-2 in their last 10. They're 1-3-2 on the road this season, which bodes well for the Edmonton Oilers 3-5-1 record. Pat, I totally forgot to mention to you, that says we're 6-7-1. We're 8-7-1. Just totally ignore it, everybody in the chat. You know we are above 500 right now. But with these Preds team, it's been a weird year. You make all those moves over the summer. You bring in some aged veterans, I will say. And then Barry Trotz comes out month in the season and starts threatening rebuilds on local radio. I mean, that's just insane to me because there's no way he's going to rebuild with the average age of this team right now. We've said it before, as this is game number 3. This team in the Preds, they're going to need time to gel. It takes time to build chemistry, familiarity with new faces. The Oilers are literally doing that right now. But last year, it kind of took them a U2 concert being pulled out from under the rug for them to go on what? It was a 16-0-2 run, I believe, something like that. And I don't know, with this team, right, they've still got all the ingredients. They have skilled top 6 players. They have a very good D-core headlined by one of the best in the NHL in Roman Josi. And oh yeah, they have an elite goaltender and UC Saros. So regardless of how the season has gone for them so far, regardless of the Oilers going 2-0, regardless of Leon's stats, Nashville, I just feel like they're too skilled, too well coached, and they have too good of a goaltender, you might say, for the Oilers to take them lightly. I understand we have their number, but this team is a good team. Just might need time to gel. Who knows? Thoughts on the Nashville Predators? Dan, I'm stoked that this is the last time we have to talk about them this season.
Well, what more can you say about him? In the last 2 months, we've just been talking about him nonstop. But I think you nailed it on the head. It was a bit of an act by Barry Trotz. Again, love that guy as a GM and as a coach. Think he's a shrewd mind. But for him to come out into the media and threaten a really hollow rebuild was pretty funny. But then he did, to his credit, he punted Dante Fabro and really showed him that he's not going to be a Nashville Predator anymore. I guess, I don't know. That was an interesting move. Again, you shoot yourself in the foot with those kinds of moves, but as an organization, you got to signal that you're trying something and that you're trying to make something register there. Yeah, I really do believe that the Nashville Predators will not make fools out of all of us pundits that thought that they were going to be in the playoff picture in the Central Division. I really do believe that they can turn this around with the talent and the leadership in that room. And again, Barry Trotz is a shrewd hockey mind, and he will be able to turn some of these things around. But it's a good time to be an Oilers fan, to be able to get those Predators early on in the season when they're taking that time to gel and need those pieces to be able to kind of come into their own. Again, the team started off real poorly in Nashville, and they've started to kind of round the corner a little bit, so you can't take them lightly. But yeah, what else can we say about this Nashville Predators team?
I'm sick of them. Jeremy Lazon, look out, brother, because Podzilla's coming for you. And Mike McCarron, I think it was, Darnell's coming for you as well. We're 2-0 on the ice. We're 2-0 in fights as well this year. Let's move now to our Willock Beef Jerky need to know information, courtesy of our friends from Willock. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Willock name, made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, smoked, marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size. You can get them specifically out of their Leduc location, right? And for more info, go to willockbeefjerky.com. So you need to know. Oilers own the Preds the last couple of years. They've owned them this season, looking for a 3-game sweep. We beat them 5-1 back on Halloween. Highlights include Leon Draisaitl scoring twice in his continuation of his mayoral campaign. Then, of course, Vasily Podkolzin absolutely 1-2 dropping Jeremy Lazon. It's still the highlight of the entire season for me, and I don't know if that's going to change. The other win was a 4-2 victory October 17th, where Dan, offensive dynamo Brett Kulak, scored 2 goals in that one, and Connor buried his first of the season. Speaking of Connor, did I mention he's going for 1,000 points tonight? Just kidding. Of course I have. I mentioned the Leon numbers, but that's just in his last 16 games. In his 28 career games, Leon has 27 career goals against the Nashville Predators. Just take a moment to let that sink in. Connor's an assist per game guy against any team, but Leon is 1 goal below a goal per game against a franchise for 28. It's just insane. He has 46 career points in 28 games. As we mentioned, Oil going 11-7 tonight. We'll see the forward groupings. It's going to be all over the place. Expect a lot of line blending and juggling this evening. And then in net, it's Calvin Pickard again getting the start against Nashville, making his 6th start of the year, 7th appearance of the season. He was very good in the Halloween game. He stopped 27 of 28 in that one, 963 save percentage. He also picked up the win on October 17th, 926 save percentage in that one, stopping 27 of 29. So Picks, you've done it before. You can do it again. And fun fact, I guess Picks had never beaten the Predators before this season. Now he's going for 3, baby. Predators side of the info, they come into this season or tonight 5-9-2 record, 30th in the NHL in goals, 32nd in shooting percentage, 24th in goals allowed, but they have a top 10 ranked 10th power play at 22.2%, and they currently have the league's best penalty kill right now at 90.9%. Dan, wouldn't that be nice? Just give me 5-10% of it. Give me 8% of that. Share a little bit of that to the Oilers. We are officially above 60% on the PK now, so don't look down, brother. It's coming back. Philip Forsberg, he leads the Predators in points, 13 in 16 games so far. He also leads the team in goals with 8. Roman Josi, he's got 11 points in those 16 games. But get this, he's averaging 25 minutes and 29 seconds on night on the ice. Expect a lot of him to be paired against 97. Nashville don't have last change, but you're going to try and get him out there against Connor McDavid. Stamkos, Marchessault, they're not having a great start, but we already knew that. Stamkos, 4 goals, 4 assists. I think he has 3 points in his last 4 games. Who knows? Marshy, he's got 9 points on the season. Preds, they're going to be without my boy, Tommy Novak. He's my favorite Predator. He's always my player to watch. So I got somebody else tonight. And then we do expect, did I get any confirmation yet on who the goaltender is going to be? It said it was going to be UC Saros all day today. We'll update that further when we get to the starting goaltender report. Let's move now, Pat, to our Sherwood Ford Giant storyline. Brought to you by the fine folks at Sherwood Ford. Tired of dealership hassles? Well, Sherwood Ford and Sherwood Park is all about convenience and upfront pricing. With their Giant Deal program, get clear, no nonsense pricing on new and used Fords online with all incentives included. Plus, enjoy the ease of mobile service, free pickup and delivery, and same day or next day service appointments. I say it every episode, but I'm going to keep saying it until the snow hits. Get your tires changed over soon because you never know when it's going to happen. You don't want to be someone backing into somebody else's car because your tires are too thin. You better leave a note if that's the case, but go check them out. Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Also, Dayton's in the chat with a super chat. He says, I'm wearing the cheap Walmart jersey I wore during McDavid's first game tonight. Special jersey for a special moment. You're damn right. I love how we all have our own little very weird things about, it's just about being a fan and being superstitious, just a little superstitious. My tonight, Dan, Sherwood Ford Giant storyline. Could it be anything else but MC1000? Obviously, the Oilers think they're going for their first 3-game win streak of the season. Yes, storyline could be Leon dominates the Predators. Yes, the Oilers are going 11-7. Yes, the special teams look vastly improved on Tuesday night. More on that in just a bit. But to me, it has to be Connor McDavid. I want to see his reaction. I want to see the fans' reaction. I want to know if they stop the game. I want to know how he's going to do it, how he celebrates. I'm very excited about this. And fun fact, which you'll see later with Bordzy's bankroll, McDavid, Connor, has produced a multi-point game in each of his previous 9 milestone games. You're saying, Bordzy, that didn't make sense. What does that mean? He's had a multi-point game in every game that he hit 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. Every one of those games, he's had at least 2 points throughout that. Now, if you look on Bet365 today, 2 points is still minus 135. So we're going for it all tonight. We're going for 3. That's my storyline, Daniel. You could be more technical if you want. We're going to do that in our next segment when we look at the lineup. What's your storyline tonight?
Well, for me, the Edmonton Oilers just need to figure out the special teams. It's going to come down between the Nashville Predators' success this year and the Oilers' failure there. I think that this team is starting to come on, especially when it comes to that power play, and they're starting to get a little bit more identity on the defense on the penalty kill. Stuart Skinner not in the net tonight, so that should help the PK a little bit. I know he's just been struggling on the PK specifically, but yeah, for me, it's going to boil down to those special teams tonight, and I really think that the Oilers are going to start to turn the corner on it here for us.
And it'll be nice to see the power play, which has been heating up as of late, going against the number one PK in the entire NHL right now. Fighting Amish made me laugh. He said, superstition. That's why I never wear pants during pre-gaming with Bordzy. Your pal Joe said wearing pants during pre-gaming is a sin. Dan, I was about to say, you dare me to stand up right now? You want to know if I'm wearing pants or not? No, you got to pay extra in the super chat for that. I'm kidding. I am wearing pants. Pat, pull it up again for us. Let's take a look at the Oilers lineup that we project this evening. Top line is going to be one Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. And as Pod Colson with Dry and Skinner here, the way we saw line rushes yesterday was that Skinner was on the fourth line. So you could think of that spot as a giant question mark. Who knows? Third line, Brown Mark featuring Rico. Then your fourth could have Skinner. Troy Stetcher isn't going to play forward. That's just the way Daily Faceoff does these things with Derek Ryan and Corey Perry. Decor, the way it's listed is Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Dermott. Why? Don't understand that. And Brett Kulak with one Ty Emberson. So we talk 11-7. Most of these guys on this team very familiar of it, unfamiliar to some. I'm most curious how Nobby's going to roll out those D pairings. Like I said, Brett Kulak's minutes have gone up. Darnell's have gone up a little bit. I'm expecting one of these guys to be the odd man out between Emberson, Dermott, Stetcher, who plays 6-7 minutes tonight. I believe 7:30 was my prediction on ONE today for Travis Dermott. But the forward group, that's where it gets fun, dude. And you're going to be able to roll all kinds of different guys in there. This is the excitement that comes with 11-7. I never know what's about to jump over the boards. I do like a little bit of consistency. I'm excited to see 97 and 29 get a lot of good run. Number one fans in here right now. If they are going supernova, Podzilla goal tonight could be a good play. He says no map needed. Dan, we're not pulling out the map for anyone until we get to 30 games. I think I'm going to have to bring the map out because it's objectively hilarious at that point, and you got to go. Curious to see how 11-7 goes tonight. I'm excited to watch it. Anything else we haven't touched on about 11-7? Because I think Jeff Skinner, I don't think it's going to be him, right? Let's have that convo now because he's clearly in Nobby's doghouse. He played 853 season low on Tuesday night after the game before was a season low 12-17. I think a couple shifts with 29-92 could be exactly what the doctor ordered for Jeff Skinner. Maybe he can benefit being in that Victor Arvidsson spot that he's found consistency and his game in for the last 5-10, because you mentioned it there off the hop with Jay Skin. Skin dog. Skin daddy is Stuart Skinner. Skin dog is Jeff Skinner. Try and keep up, Daniel. But the fans were quick to love him, right? He had 4 points in 5 games to start the year. I think he has 2 in his last 11 games. He's been demoted to the fourth line. He got straight up benched in that last game and the one before. It's a weird one. I'm hoping tonight that Dry pass first 50-goal scorer Dry sets him up a couple times and he can get some shifts there, because I don't know. Where are you at with Jeff Skinner right now? Where's your confidence level? What are you feeling? What's going on in that head of yours?
Well, hey, I've been a big Jeff Skinner guy. When he came in, I predicted right off the bat that he was going to hit that 70-point mark of this season. I still think he can do it. I don't get the benchings and the issues that are happening. I haven't really seen or heard anything about it more than it seems like it might just be a sideburns issue kind of deal here. And so I really do hope that Jeff Skinner gets that opportunity up there for Arvidsson. Arvidsson seems to have kind of turned a corner with this team when he started to put the puck towards the net. And I get it when you come to a new organization that especially when you come to an organization that has 29 and 97 on it, it's hard to look those guys off for opportunities, but you've been brought here for a reason. And so, yeah, I really want to see Jeff Skinner up there. We know Corey Perry can do it. That's why we have Corey Perry for the number that we do. And that's why he's on this team, is to be able to do that spot duty. why not try and have Jeff Skinner go up there and maybe unlock something again? But I think you kind of nailed it there. There's something going on between him and the coach that we aren't privy to yet. Hopefully he can break through that, though.
It's right, because let me know in the chat. We're just having an open and honest conversation here. I can really think of, besides where he got dog walked in that last game when he was trying to cover Ty Emerson's pointing him out to go take the man on the second goal of the game, the first Anders Lee goal, but he was covering to the other side for one Corey Perry. Yes, he got dog walked and dangled. It was insane. He needed a leash on that play, but I don't know. Besides that, I can't really think of much that Jeff Skinner has done horribly. There's no egregious errors in his game. Clearly, Chris Knobloch knows more than I do. So, hey.
Well, and I mean, and for this organization, it would be pretty fresh for us to be picking on one forward for his defensive lapses when our defense has had the absolute egregious hand grenades, like Darnell Nurse's pass at the start of that game last period, in the first period. If anybody else did that on the ice, they're not seeing it for the rest of the period. So anyways, it's I'm not going to be the guy that's going to go after Knobloch. I don't think that it was good that the organization went after Woody like it did last year so fast. I don't think we can do that anymore. We need some stability at that head coaching position, but I do have some questions around the usage there, specifically with Jeff.
I'm talking special teams. Dude, they were much improved Tuesday night against the Islanders. Power play goes 1 for 2. And can you believe it? The penalty kill was perfect. 2 for 2 on a night. As I mentioned, they're back above 60%, 61% on the season. Suck it, rest of the NHL. Actually, we're still dead last and by a solid margin. Now, the point I made on After Dark is I don't know if the Oilers were turning a corner or the Islanders were just that brutal. I believe coming into it, their power play, both of them were terrible on the season around the Edmonton Oilers level. The power play looked much better, much improved. They were back to their old tricks. Evan Bouchard was ripping pucks on the net. He had 8 shots on goal. So did Connor McDavid. Obviously, gets capped off by a Leon Draisaitl goal that straight up only he can score from that angle in his office. The PK looked pretty good, but I'd also say look at who the Islanders had on that top power play. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Talking power play specifically, though, we do feel like we've turned a corner, and it's not crazy to say that because we knew that this was going to come, that this was going to happen as everybody gets back familiar and everything cooking again. But tonight, you get the best penalty kill in the entire NHL in the Nashville Predators. Like I said, 90.9%. We all knew it was a matter of time before the power play heated up. Tonight, though, could be a little bit tough. We'll see how it goes. I'm taking the Oilers power play against anyone every single night, regardless who they're playing against and their numbers. But thoughts on the improved special teams for one game at least?
Well, you've seen it with this team against Vancouver, and now you've seen it against the Islanders as well. This power play just seems to start to be able, or it seems to be turning the corner on being able to impose its will on other teams again. And that's really how I felt against the Islanders. Is it really just felt like that was a four unit there on that one side of the ice. And they just weren't going to be denied. They were going to get their opportunity from that Islanders team. But yeah, I mean, the reality is that Vancouver is not earth-shattering on the penalty kill, and the Islanders certainly aren't either. A great test tonight in Nashville, going to be able to hopefully continue that imposing of your will on the other team on that power play, because what was working before and last season just isn't working right now. You got to change it up a little bit, and it's been exciting to see that core group be able to do that change.
Put those 5 brains together. I'm sure they're going to come out with something good. PK going to be in tough tonight. I said Nashville, they got the 10th ranked power play, and both games this season, the Preds have scored a power play goal. They're 2 for 6 against the Oilers this season. Let's move now to our starting goaltender report because we just got some late news. Brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Hit the trails this winter and the waves next summer. As fellow hockey fans, the team at Sherwood Power Sports Marine are helping Oilers Nation fans gear up. They're home of an ATV for just $50 bi-weekly, or you can cruise the open water in a boat for $105 bi-weekly. Sherwood Power Sports Marine are hockey fans helping hockey fans get ready for their next adventure with motorcycles, quads, e-bikes, and boats. So the one we do know, Calvin Pickard is going to get the start for the Edmonton Oilers this evening. Be looking for his third victory. Look at Pat, quick on the graphics. Clap it up, damn it. That's good work. Makes his fifth start of the year. Calvin Pickard does. He will shoot for that third victory, like I said. Sorry, I got confused. He beat them 4-2 on October 17th, 5-1, 31st. You see the numbers right there. 3-2-0, 260 goals against, 886 save percentage. Can you believe it? The yellow is on both sides for the Edmonton Oilers. Pick's last game was against New Jersey, November 4th. That's been a minute since he last been in the crease, and he allowed 3 goals on 16 shots in that one, 812 save percentage. So you know Pix is going to be motivated to go back out there looking for the 3-0 sweep. Knock on wood. Dan, clearly Nobby has all the confidence in the world in Calvin Pickard.
Well, hey, I was just trying to scramble and see if I could pull up any Scott Wedgwood stats. He's only played the 3 games this season. The only win came against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He lost to both Dallas and Florida. 4 goals against, 3 goals against, and 6 goals against. So things are looking good on our sides of the ledger. And Pickard, to his credit, he's been everything that a backup needs to be for this team, especially with Skinner's ability to or need to kind of work through some things here in the last few games. Pickard comes in and he is steady and ready, as he's saying there in the chat. And so yeah, I'm super excited now that we see Scott Wedgwood lining up against Pickard tonight as well.
I bet the under in the last game. I said that's the only time you're going to see me do that for 82 games. Look at those stats right there. I look at 886 and an 841, 4.37. I say, bet the over, baby. And I see some people in the chat agreeing. Also, remember we got goalied by Scott Wedgwood last season when he was on Dallas, I do believe, because I have never forgotten that memory. Let's move now to that Nashville lineup brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg, because Greta is where Oilers Nation loves to party, watch the game home and away. Great spot for pre and post. Going to be all kinds of viewing parties throughout the season. Check out the great street food menu, games in the arcade, and weekly drink specials. All right, let's take a look at the projected Nashville Predators lineup this evening. As you see on your screen right here, top line, Philip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos. Second line, Jonathan Marchessault with Colton Sissons and Gustav Nyquist. Luke Evangelista with Juuso Parssinen. Philip Tomasino, fourth line, Cole Smith, who I believe he scored in the last game against the Oilers, with Michael McCarron and Zachary, not even going to try and attempt to say that name. Deep pairings, Brady Shea with Roman Josi, Jeremy Lazon. Remember him? Remember Vasily Podkolzin. He's with Alex Carrier and Mark Del Gaizo, not Michael Del Zotto, with Luke Shen on that third pairing as well. Jay made it. He said it best today. He goes, look at that top line. That's a hell of a top line. If it was 5 years ago, 3 guys in their 30s, which makes the things that Barry Trotz said in that radio show insane. He did say, quote, we will be limited a little bit because of some of the contracts that we do have. If we don't get it going, then I'm going to start our rebuild plan. You mentioned it, Dan. We all know that's a mind games thing, just like last year. Telling 20 grown men you can't go to Vegas for a U2 concert. I mean, it worked. Give them credit. They went 16-0-2 right after that. But this year's a little different. It has not worked since he said that. The Predators are 1-3. And like I said, there's just a roster full of guys in their 30s. Like O'Reilly is 33, Stammer's 34. You just signed a number of them. You traded for Ryan O'Reilly, but you traded an old Matthias Ekholm a couple years ago. I am very confused on what the Nashville Predators are doing, but like the point I made is you look at their roster. They check some boxes throughout the lineup of, okay, guys who can score, guys who can defend, and you have an elite goaltender. Weird year so far for the Nashville Predators. Dan, I can ask you, who's your player to watch this evening when you look at that roster? Who comes to your mind?
Oh, I mean, straight up, I look at that top line, and it's the leader of this team for the last few years. It's Philip Forsberg. He is an absolute sniper still, even in his 30s. It's just so funny. You say it and we keep talking about it, but like the thought of Steven Stamkos abandoning ship from the Tampa Bay Lightning, where he's spent his entire life, and he comes to Nashville, and within 8 games, it's, oh, we're going to rebuild around me again. Anyways, yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing a Philip Forsberg. Just see the skill that he tests Pickard with. He's not going to do anything tonight, but yeah, I'm watching him for sure. And then I'm always going to be watching Roman Josi because he's going to be on the ice for more than half of the game. So I don't really have an option there. But he will, as you said, he'll be lined up against McDavid and Draisaitl for most of the evening. So get used to seeing number 59 on your screen.
When I think Predators, I think Roman Josi these days. Maybe a couple different. Used to think Matthias Ekholm, to be completely fair with you. Now I think Roman Josi, former Norris Trophy guy. I said he plays 25-29. He's got 11 points this season. He's currently leading the Predators in shots as well, which I found.
Oh, and I meant to just let you know, too, the last time we played Scott Wedgwood was last year against the Dallas Stars. He did not blank us. However, we lost 4-3 in that game against Dallas on November the 2nd, 2023.
How many saves did he have?
That night, he was able to, just scrolling here, he was able to save 46 of 49 shots against. So
I knew I remembered that properly. I remember screaming his
correct.
name last season during that game. So knock on wood, everybody. For my player to watch, yeah, Roman Josi for sure. Philip Forsberg has scored in both games this season against the Edmonton Oilers. I always pick Tommy Novak because I love that dude, Novechkin. He's not going to be in the lineup tonight. So, to be different, I'm going to go Ryan O'Reilly. Just a savvy vet through and through. He scored a ton against the Oilers. I looked this up earlier. 37 points in 49 career games against the Oilers. So he's a vet. He can score. Got to be aware of him on the ice. Good at draws as well. Let's close it on out now with a little betting talk, courtesy of our friends from Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Proud partner of Pre-Gaming with Bordzy. Open an account today. Bet on a huge range of markets. And as you see, download the app today and use the code NATION, all capitals. That spells nation. All right. So without further ado, these are my three options this evening, Daniel. We're swinging for the fences on the first one. As I mentioned, McDavid, to get 2 points was still minus 135. So clearly they read the same stat that I did, that 100 points, 200 points, 300, etc. He's getting multi-point nights. So I went even higher. I'm going for 3 plus 240. And it's Connor McDavid. He knows about this record. He's going to try and put on a performance. He also has 7 points in his last 2 games. Come on now. He's got 39 career points in 19 career games, I believe, against the Preds. Just insane. Next one, the doctor, Nursey, over 2.5 shots on goal. This one has just been juiced up all year, and I went back and looked. He hit this handedly in both games against the Nashville Predators this season. He didn't hit in his last game, but Darnell was just straight up missing the net. So I believe in him, and I like the plus money that comes along with this one. And then it's his world. We're just living in it. It's Leon. It's the Nashville Predators. You have to bet an anytime goal. I wanted to bet 2 goals because then theoretically he would be a point or a goal per game player against the Predators. I went with just 1 plus 125 this evening. That photo of Leon is also so badass. I also hope that's the face Connor makes tonight when he scores 1,000 and just Jordan shrugs and what do you expect? What'd you expect? Daniel, you look at these 3 bets. Which one do you like the most?
Well, as much as I can't go against 97 or 29, I really like the Darnell Nurse pick. I think that the defense has been activating more and more as we go. We saw this last year with the addition of Paul Coffey and the ability for the defense to just kind of play the game again. When you see Brett Kulak breaking into the zone and breaking in on the rush, you know that the defense is activated. And so I think that the sneaky good play right now is the defense shot props.
They're not even offering Brett Kulak as a goal scorer. Because I would be all over it, man. This is
wild.
Brett Kulak's here, the offensive dynamo. I've mentioned, like you just talked about the offense being activated. I got 2 words for you, Paul Coffey. I mean, I guess those are nouns, but they're still technically words. He's had the influence on this D-core for what, almost or specifically a calendar year now. That's right. It was the 1-year anniversary of Nobby against the Islanders on Tuesday night. So I like these couple people in it fighting Amish. I love this. It's Leon's world. We just live in it tonight. Southpaw, I'm looking to make a parlay. Will you do it? You do so responsibly. I'm looking at you. Do it. I mean, only bet what you're willing to lose. Don't get crazy with anything. A win is a win. I don't want anybody saying that they did anything crazy tonight, but I like these three. I don't know if I've parlayed. I bet these all separately. I might have to throw these in a parlay together, get them a little bit juiced up. And before we roll out of here, I want to give another read courtesy of our friends from Jasper Minor Hockey. Because on July 24th, 2024, a wildfire devastated the town of Jasper, displacing families, destroying 30% of structures. And as they rebuild, hockey, huge part of the community, huge part of getting everybody back together. And this season, for their Bears hockey program, they got crazy challenges, man. Their rink's out of commission. Players have to travel crazy distances just to practice. Then they're going to play 30 away games this season. Manage with their limited facilities. It's tough times. Financial burden is heavy, but we can make the difference because nationgear.ca is teaming up with Jasper Minor Hockey. Go to nationgear.ca, buy one of these beautiful, beautiful t-shirts or sweaters. I was wearing mine on Tuesday. They're also comfy as shit, brother. I don't even know what material it's made out of, but it's fantastic. Team up with Jasper Minor Hockey. Go Bears. In every purchase of the For the Love of the Game merch helps local kids in Jasper keep playing the game they love. Visit nationgear.ca. And as I mentioned, it's a great cause to help out the town of Jasper, which they would sometimes, Pat, I see through them chat right there. Just guy is so on the ball sometimes. Patrick Puff, I tell you. And they have a hard time fundraising with businesses in the town because they also lost a lot of finances and things like that. So we all got to play our part. The shirts are sick. You're helping do some good charity work, and it's a sick Christmas gift. And if you want to buy it for yourself, it also just looks sick. Shout out Kennedy. Daniel, my final question to you. You probably know what it is. Give me a score prediction. Give me an anytime goal score.
Oh boy. The Edmonton Oilers and the Nashville Predators. If I had to predict a score, which I do, you just said I do, I'm going to guess it is a 5-3 victory for the Edmonton Oilers, with the anytime goal scorer being Leon Draisaitl on the power play.
I like that. I think I'm going to roll with Sadistic Angels. Same thing. 5-2 Oils. Let's go. I think the over cashes. I don't want to talk crazy, but I think tonight's going to, we've seen what these two teams do, and we've seen this movie too many times, but we cannot take them lightly, even though I might be placing some wagers like I am taking them lightly. Lance is in 1-0 McDavid goal. Wouldn't that actually be incredible? Like overtime.
59 in the third.
I think about the celebration of Connor when he gets to the point. If it was an OT winner and he just popped the chin strap right off immediately and is like, fuck it, boys. Let's go home. Let's go party. That would be pretty cool. Fighting Amish, 6-2 Oilers. McDavid, 1 goal, 4 apples. Who knows, brother? That would be 3 points. That would cash my bet. Yeah, I'm going to go 5-2 anytime goal scorer. Leon Draisaitl. You just got to go with Leon. And that'll do it for us for Pre-Gaming with Bordzy. Don't worry. We'll be live right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube right after the hockey game. Me, Dan, Patrick Puff. I swear I saw his face earlier today. So I'm going to try and bring him on After Dark. And that'll be a good time. Big shout out to our sponsors. Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, Greta Bar Yeg, Bet365, Wilhawk Beef Jerky, and ba-da-bum, what has been inside my cup the entire time. Shout out Odd Company, partnered up with us for a Nation Beer everyday lager for game day, and simply put, every day of the week, every day that ends in Y. I've already crushed one of these, so I mean, hey, you're gonna have to continue to get another one of those. You can get them at both of their Odd Company locations in Edmonton. You can also check them out, liquorconnect.com, find out which local liquor stores are carrying these beautiful, beautiful cans. As I said, I mean, if you guys know, I won't be able to show this that well, but there's so many neon Leons, Hope Will Never Die, so many cool Easter eggs on these cans that while you're enjoying a couple, they you can stare at Kennedy's beautiful artwork as well. Sadistic Angel says it best. Enjoy the game, everybody. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. Over and out. Catch you right after the game. Peace.